Hello sonicstate, my name is Andreas from Endorphins, and we'll give you a short overview of our system and of our instruments what we prepared for the NAMM. We have 84 HP full Endorphin system consisting of shuttle control, further generator, terminal expansion which is called gateway, and a new mixture which is 4-channel stereo mixture, we call it Ultranova. And we will show it to you how everything works as a performance instrument. First of all, we introduced a new software update for the shuttle control. It is available update for the online for every PC or Mac. Updated is via USB to the version 2, and it includes lots of new features, including bidirectional MIDI through from host to device and from device to host loopback. It also adds some improvement polyphonic mode allocation. It includes also improved MIDI clock, also improved very stable to any MIDI clock generator. For example, we can here see that we use two iPads. One iPad is used as an FX processor for the mixture. I will explain you in a while how it works. And another iPad works as a drum machine and as a sequencer, and it is connected via the USB with a camera connection kit directed into the shuttle control. Drum machine generates clock, and clock is outputted to the output 8, and output 16 is a start-stop of the drum machine. For example, if you press stop, here the one, it decreases, and afterwards we press play, it starts to generate clock with any division that we set, and generates gate when we press start and stop. We have here also lots of new features, like we utilizing Web MIDI. Web MIDI is a new feature. It was introduced only less than a year ago. It was like a more implementation in beta version of Google Chrome version, and now it is available for Opera, for Chrome, and maybe for something more web browser. And there is a Web MIDI web browser for the iOS, so you directly connect it to go to the website cargo2.endorphins. The website asks you for permission to access your MIDI interface. You define any CV output whenever you wish, define all the presets, all the 16 presets, or change only one, and afterwards you play, upload preset or upload the whole band, and everything is changed, so we don't need to download MIDI or download CSEX and upload them via CSEX player. So everything goes pretty smooth and more simple. There is also additions, so all the triggers became either bipolar or unipolar, so it can be 10 volts, 5 volts. There is also smooth CC generators and smooth CC control change voltages and steps, so it is directly generated with the MIDI without smoothing, 127 steps. And with something more additions, there is a tap LF4. Tap LF4 means that you can just tap a few times, and it is immediately synchronized to your tap, so you don't need to lock it to something else, and you just can immediately lock all your setup to it. What we have afterwards here, so shuttle control generates all the MIDI clock, the clock, the CV and pitch CV, and so on. What we have here is a mixture. It's an audio source, an audio merger. So it's completely on another side. So that one generates CV and so on. That goes with the audio. That's a 4-channel stereo mixture. Basically, you can connect a few iOS devices like iPad, iOS, like a drum machine and so on. You can connect them directly into the bottom channel 3 and 4, and you can connect any other stereo source. For example, like our systems with terminal, also stereo, you can connect them to channel 1 and 2. There is a small sidechain compressor that you can enable, and to make a ducking function of the channel 1 or 2. So if you are more in performance mode, or if like you are having a small performance, because our system is intended for making exactly a small performance system, so you have some kind of iOS device, drum machine, and a full system, so you can play with amplitude and make some kind of proper dynamic of some kind of the modular lines.
So right now we're using this iPad as an effects processor,
exactly,
right?
Yeah. So the channel 3 and channel 4 of the mixture use a 4-pin TTRS connectors. So you can connect any iOS device, actually iPad or iPhone, and with a 4-pin with kind of 4-pin cables, and the last pin is used as a send from the channel 2 goes send to channel 4, and channel 2 used as a send to the channel 3. So our iPad is playing a sequence, and the sequence goes like right now. Sequence goes to the channel 3, and we turn it fully off because it goes to as a send to the iPad. And with the iPad we can play, for example.
So that's quite a fun way of integrating like an iOS device into the modular, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so it's like a more or less like a really total integration. So it goes from from audio and from MIDI, so everything is involved. So we try to make it like a portable system. So it's more or less intended to do everything so small, so you don't need any extra gadgets or small devices to make an interconnection. So you have a very portable, and you have it with you. What is just a few new is announced is a companion module to the Shuttle control. It is called Shuttle Mate. Shuttle Mate is a MIDI merger. With Shuttle control you can connect with a USB device as a USB device. You can connect iOS device, PC or Mac, and to host you can connect, for example, any USB MIDI controller, any USB MIDI converter, any USB MIDI keyboard, anything. And people wanted to use Hue, so usually it's natural to use, for example, electronic drum machine, and any drum machine that generates clock and wants to use a MIDI keyboard separately. So what we created is a MIDI merger. So you use a USB MIDI device, connect simultaneously USB MIDI, any MIDI, and even have a MIDI through. So you connect them together, and you just sum all that MIDI flow together and have it input everything into Shuttle control. And with this firmware 2, now you can actually create very complex MIDI flows. So you can create MIDI through, MIDI host loopback. You can make a MIDI through from host to device and vice versa. And that one goes also bidirectional. So you can send clock from your iPad and it goes to your MIDI keyboard and vice versa, but it doesn't output here because not to create MIDI loop. So such a small device, but actually utilizes everything. So you have a pretty complex setup, but still very powerful for performance synthesizer as having like a small instrument. And one more device. It is right now in the prototype, so we're actually not given like a big overview about it. However, we call it Fourier, which is going to be an expansion for the first generator. First generator is actually like loved complex oscillator, and we would like to make some new features, some new additions that can be made with that module. So what we actually do is take the triangle from the core, or what you need is to have a triangle from any other oscillator, so you can basically use it not only with further, but with any triangle oscillator, like even terminals that go in looping mode. And it creates 9 sine harmonics over the triangle, and it also creates a quadrature sine waves from the triangle, so it generates 4 sine waves that are shifted in 90 degrees. It is useful for making some kind of video synthesis, for actually for making some pseudo stereo and something like that. So everything that you can use quadrature is actually that the thing can do. We are working on the prototype, so it's like it's an analog part, and afterwards we are going to the digital one, so to make it proper control. So actually the faceplate will definitely change. So, but however, we just having just like a small overview what we are working on. So we are actually working on it much more, but actually what we have right now. Yeah.
Excellent. So when are you hoping to have the mixer out?
Oh yeah, the mixer and the MIDI merger are right now are preparing for production. So the MIDI merger is actually ready, and it goes into production. Usually we would have something like 2 months. So it's actually a sprint. And for the mixer, we need just a bit to adjust the proper layout of the knobs, because the knobs are pretty tight. They are really together, and we would like to avoid the small sharp knobs. So we would just make a proper layout. So it's like still like a 6 HP, but it's like a powerful 4-channel. It's 8 VCAs. It's actually 9 VCAs inside, plus some kind of pumping stuff. So it's, I think, something like 1 more month, and everything will be ready until the end of the sprint.
And what will be the final price on that?
The final price is still to be defined. However,
award-winning customer service, fast, free shipping on most orders. Own the gear of your dreams today.